Good morning. It is July 11th, the whole day today, and we're going to be talking about a few things that we haven't mentioned in a while. Obviously, we're going to have a Fed meeting coming up here. Tomorrow, we've got a print on inflation. It's going to be the last one. We don't think it's going to really move the needle, but it obviously will be incorporated into their decision making. So let's head over to the Longbow dashboard, talk about some short-term and long-term treasuries, as well as dollar and gold. So here I've got for you the 1 to 3 years, so the SHI ETF, and then the TLT, so that's the 20+ year treasury. And obviously both of those are bearish on a short-term and medium-term signal. So what does that tell you? It tells you that the price of treasuries is going down. And as you know, because yields are going up, why were yields going up? Because people were more worried about the Fed hiking rates after really hot labor data and still solid inflation data. So it's really no surprise there. So you might be itching. Remember, this used to be like the year of the bond, and everybody was going to go long bonds earlier in the year. We didn't do it. Hopefully, you didn't do it because it's going to take a little while, we think, to really get through this solid performance of the U.S. economy until we start seeing rates decline. So obviously, you need to get in a little bit earlier, not when everybody else is jumping on the bandwagon. But we're being really cautious about threading this needle so that we're waiting to add long bonds to people's portfolios. But in the meantime, you're really getting paid to wait. You know, you're 5.4+% on short-term treasuries. That's a great yield to be getting. But we watch this, right? So be watching this, see maybe we'll get a short-term signal flipping from bearish to neutral at some point, and then we'll be coming back to you with some ideas there. But in the meantime, maybe you're thinking about emerging market bonds. So EMB is a really good ETF for that. We've got neutral short-term, medium-term. It's basically in the middle of its range. There's nothing to do here. But we like that as well as emerging market stocks in terms of the relative growth. And then obviously you've been reading about it. I mean, China's really taken a digger this year in terms of their equity markets. We don't think they're going to stimulate, but you might see some love come back into those stocks. So be look out for FXI, which is a different ETF of the Chinese stock market, and then EMB, more emerging market bonds. And then the dollar I'm putting in here, again, it's getting to the lower end of the range. Neutral short-term, medium-term bullish, and I'll take a look at the range in a second. And then gold, we're getting almost overbought signal there, but it's bearish. So if you've been long gold, this is probably the day to be trimming, not the day to be adding, unless you're just, you need your gold. But we'd be looking at these signals because we want to be flipping to neutral to bullish eventually on this with the dollar down view, but that's not quite yet. We really think that the dollar could stay strengthened for a little while. So you'd be wanting to see these things flipping with each other before you went to short the dollar and go long gold in greater percentages of your portfolio. But heading back to the dollar, let's take a look at that because that's kind of interesting here, right? We had, gosh, up until October. And then what happened? We've been pretty much on a downward move. But in terms of the medium term, right? So coming from here, so call it January, February, it's on a little bit more of a bullish sense. But since last fall, obviously, it's been bearish. And then short term, it's just been bouncing around. It's been neutral. People are excited about the economy one day, worried about it. And so you're seeing that come through. And we're seeing that in equity markets too, really just bouncing around here. As we head into earnings season, fundamentals are going to be a little bit more important. But you don't want to lose sight of some of these really big plays that we think are going to be interesting for your portfolio later in the year. So we're going to keep them updated for you, and you can as well on your Longbow dashboard. That's it for today, and we'll catch you back tomorrow.